right, ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have true heel heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
I'll get it.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Oye, te habla tío Sabio Vega. This is Sabio Vega, and you watching True Heel Hit a mi manera o pa' la calle.
Hello, hello, hello. It is a big, rich town, and it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel for another edition of our Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 reviews. This time reviewing Episode 4, The Reckoning, and Drew and Diana are on the run, and will they get caught? We're going to discuss this week's episode, and I am not joined by the princess of all the True Heels, Miss Krssi Love, this week. This week, we got a very special guest joining us. He is my main man, my OG co-host over on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, but he is also a power fan, OG power fan, the one and only, the True Heel resident alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
Damn, man, I might have to get a bottle of Terramana from the bodega over here or some shit. I'm letting the Monica name down. I just got some juice today.
It's still early. It's still early, even though it's 5 o'clock.
Actually,
here, so.
it's happy hour where you are, but not exactly where I am. It's still fresh in the late morning.
Absolutely, but we appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. We appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. We've been killing it with these Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4 reviews, the final season of Ghost. So we appreciate y'all for joining us with that. Help the YouTube algorithms and help the channel out by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your Power Universe fans all across the social media platforms. And if you are new to the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. But of course, you want to sound off in the live chat and give us your thoughts on this week's Power episode, Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. One of our regulars in the chat, Power Driver Finisher, saying, I haven't seen the latest episode, but I don't mind getting the spoilers. I'm going to watch after this. Don't worry, sir. We're here to break it all down, and then you can enjoy the episode and let it absorb all in. And I understand, though, it has been a crazy weekend with Forbidden Door. We'll be on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time, reviewing Forbidden Door with an all-star panel. So check us out over there if you are not already subscribed and hit the bell. But we also got Vala B in the chat who says, what's up, True Heels? You know what I'm going to say. He says, Reek could never be his dad. Reek is his dad. That's what you really mean. Every week, it's like something else that's like, man, as much as you don't want to be him, you are him.
Yeah.
But
in a nutshell. Let's go.
This is your first time on the channel talking about Power Book 2 Ghost. What have you thought overall of season 4 so far, Top Guy JJ? And what's your feelings on this being the last season of Ghost?
One, they need to work out getting picked up by another network. They need to get picked up by another, because there's still way too much meat on this bone to just be done. And when you have to potentially cram everything into a season, it makes it great for viewing purposes, but there's so much shit that they gotta unpack. So every episode has had meaning so far. This has been one of the better seasons for sure thus far. I have thoroughly enjoyed. Usually I'm somebody that would not see the first 5 weeks, because I know they do 5 weeks, break, then 5 weeks. This time I'm week to week. I'm literally week to week on this shit, because this shit has been that entertaining. And I ended up catching this episode late last night, around 2 o'clock in the morning, because of Forbidden Door, because of House of the Dragon. There is just, Sunday was just so fucking jam packed. It was insane. And then doing True Hill Heat earlier in the day, and then having those couple of hours to get shit done, and then just being locked on a television screen for the next 7 hours. I was like, yeah, that's it. Thank God this shit is at 12 o'clock, because this fucking sleep was needed. I knocked out literally 5 minutes after watching Power.
See, I can appreciate, the fact that you were able to get some sleep, because, having two 4-year-olds, I went to sleep at 5 something here because of the time difference, and I watched the full Forbidden Door. So I went to sleep soon after Forbidden Door, and then my kids woke me up at 9. I was like, y'all couldn't let me get 1 more hour of sleep. So
yeah, that
I'm living vicariously through your sleep.
Vacation, you got to be able to get sleep pockets in there somewhere. So, especially there's people that be like, yo, you on vacation, you don't go to sleep when you're on vacation. Fuck that, motherfucker. When you 40 plus, vacation is essential. Vacation is essential. That niggas, we go to sleep. We go on vacation to go to sleep.
I'd say 30 after 35. After 35 was when I was like, oh man, I appreciate sleep. I can get that 4 hours of sleep, and it feels like 8. It feels like 8. Yeah. Any amount of sleep feels like a lot once you're past 35, pretty much.
Yeah, just don't interrupt that window. Just don't interrupt the window, and we are good for the rest of the day. Just don't interrupt the window.
Yes, indeed. We got in the chat a good point by Derek Edmonds. Thanks for joining us. He says, same about Tommy show. Yeah, it was announced just 2 weeks ago that Power Book 4 Force is ending. That made me really I was already under the belief when they announced Ghost was ending. I was like, okay, so they're probably going to do a spinoff with Tariq now at the top, where Ghost was at the beginning of Power. But when Force was announced of ending, I was like, no, they're probably going to do a Tommy and Tariq spinoff. That's what my thing is. I don't think they're going to get picked up. I don't think Ghost is going to get picked up. Maybe we still will have some characters from Ghost transition into the Tommy Tariq combination, but I think that's the next chapter of Power. That the next one is going to be Power Book 5 Dynasty or something like that with Tariq and Tommy.
Yo, 50. Call up Netflix, bro. Call up Netflix, my nigga. Yo, you would get a fucking bag for this shit. And, yo, Netflix fucking throws anything on there for 7, 8 seasons. So
this is true.
Power would live forever if they happen to land on Netflix.
And the fact that Netflix is losing 2 of their main draws within the next 12 months, because we got the final season of Cobra Kai is about to start in 2 weeks. And then the final season of Stranger Things, I think, is either at the end of 2024 or beginning of 2025. So they got a huge hole a huge void that they gotta fill, and you could get some black people to watch Netflix. So
Yeah,
I mean that is a good point, but I think that the whole thing was I think it was an article in May or April. Gary Lennon, who's now in charge of all the powers, they basically said after 3 or 4 seasons they have to like pay all the actors, like they get raises. So that's why they've been ending all these shows after 3 or 4 seasons, except for Raising Kanan. Of course, 50 was like, nah, y'all ain't ended my series after 4 seasons. They got a season 5 when they already announced Origins. They already announced Origins, which is the story of Power, the story of young Ghost and Tommy.
Tommy and Ghost. Yep. Listen, but you know what though? I'm still so grateful because of how long this series has been just running in general. Like this is a decade of our lives that we have just been engulfed with this power shit. Like basically from just think about how the show started. Like honestly, when I started watching season 1, bro, that shit was a glorified porno.
And every week it was either Ghost piping Tasha or Ghost piping Angela.
All you saw was a couple of club scenes and cheeks. That's literally what it was the whole fucking first season. And then it became a real show at the end of season 1/season. You still got some cheeks. But
yeah, season 2 is still my favorite season of Power, period. Like just that whole Tommy, Ghost and Tommy like really taking over, and then Ghost killing off all the Primeras at the end, and then teaming up with Dre, and then Dre becomes his second in the clubs and shit. That's still my favorite.
Yeah. You see that, and just nothing's gonna really top Power, honestly, just because of all of the elements that was in Power and how easy. I mean, it's easy to remember all of these people here because they're so good. But there's the laundry list of people that went through the Power universe during them first 6 seasons. Legendary. Fucking love it. But we are in book 2, final season of this. Hopefully we get more. But let's get this show on the road, man, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Yes, we got a couple of comments to highlight here. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says, Force is my favorite intro. I know y'all like Big Rich Town. I like Money, Power, Power. Yeah, I mean, that's my second favorite behind Big Rich Town. Big Rich Town is man, they nearly caused a riot. Remember on social media when they tried to change the theme in season 6? So
they fucking took out fucking Joe and put in Trey Songz. I was like, yo, nah. I kid you not. I didn't even like the entire episode because of that. I ain't like the entire episode because of that. I was like, what the fuck is this? They played that shit for 2 episodes and just shit got clipped the third week.
It back.
Outrage to an intro. That's how you know motherfuckers is hooked.
Yes.
Motherfuckers is hooked. Because that 90-second intro or whatever that shit is, when you hit just the opening, they say this is a big rich town. There's nothing that's like that. Yeah, and then you hear this nigga basically love singing. Like, nah, bro. We ain't in an R&B video. It's not my birthday.
This ain't my power, sir. Give me back my real theme. But yes.
But raising the Raising Kanan intro, I like that shit too. I like that bop. That shit's a bop to me.
Yeah. All the spinoffs have had, they kept Big Rich Town for Ghost, but the 2 new ones with Kanan and Force is really good as well. But let's get into this week's episode as we're coming off the heels of a great ending on last week where Pinky, who has been my vote for like MVP of the season, because every time Tariq makes the call, Pinky gets the job done.
Pinky comes through. Like how, bro? Like the most reliable source in the game.
The inside source, inside scoop Pinky got the ring bell camera, and we found they finally found out that it was Diana posing as Monet who gave the address to Tommy to go after Tasha. So we start off this episode with Tariq on the hunt. Tariq is looking for Drew and Diana, and he pulls up to her dorm room, and he's looking for Diana. He breaks in, and he's like, "I'm looking for this bitch. I'm gonna take her out." While Braden's basically trying to talk some sense into him. And then Kane and Monet come in, and Monet basically questions Tariq again, saying that, "Oh, you thought it was me that gave the address to Tasha. That's why you took those shots at me." And he says, "Yeah, I was upset, but no, I ain't take those shots at me." And then he pulls up on Monet, and of course, Kane's like right there. He steps up, like, "You ain't gonna get close to my mama again."
Yo, just know the Tejadas officially has superpowers. The Tejadas officially have superpowers. We'll obviously get into that later, but the Tejadas officially have superpowers. They're cast off members from the boys. They're soups. They're soups.
Yo, they do drive really fast or run really fast, it seems, and they always can never just shoot somebody. They have to do monologues before they shoot anyone, it seems. But they have a little confrontation where Tariq makes a good point. He was like, "It was your family that tried to take you out, so you know what needs to be done." And I think the first time ever in 4 seasons, Kane says, "I don't trust this motherfucker," but he's right. What? I was like, wait, what's going on? What did Kane just say? Did he just agree with Tariq? He says
Like,
Drew and Diana has to go.
Yo, the fact that he said that shit that quickly, it's like, yo, this nigga's on a hunt. Kane just want blood. By any means necessary, he want blood. Even if that shit is agreeing with Tariq, because it only took 4 seasons for him to say Tariq is right about something. Because no matter how good Tariq's ideas have been in 4 seasons, Kane's like, "I don't trust this little nigga. I don't trust this little nigga."
He been hating on Tariq since the moment he came for family dinner, pretty much. So like, but
I mean,
yeah, he agrees with them.
He did smash his sister. He smashed his sister. He was fucking the girl that he then wanted really bad. Tariq was just a step ahead of him the entire series, not even season, series.
Yeah, and then he was just so much smarter than Kane from the beginning. It wasn't until Mecca came and taught Kane the game that Kane got a little bit. Now Kane is a formidable enemy to Tariq because he learned the game from Mecca.
Yeah. So Mecca basically had given Kane the ability to be 1 step behind instead of 5-6 steps behind.
Pretty much there. But yeah, so Tariq is still on the hunt. So they go to the job that he's been working at the candy store that also Diana's been working, and the guy there says, that guy looked familiar. Is he like related to Diddy or somebody? The kid working at the candy store.
I wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah. I swear I've seen him before, and I think he's like the son of some rapper. I don't know. Maybe it's Diddy, maybe it's not.
A worker / snitch.
He did snitch.
She didn't even call. She didn't show up. You want to pick up some hours?
He's like, "Nah, bro, I can't help you."
No, I can't help you with that. I'm good, bro. Nah, I got shit to do. I got people to kill.
Braden is also looking for Tariq, and he's like, he can't find her either. So Tariq has an idea, though. He thinks he knows where Diana went, basically to Salim, her ex-boyfriend, and he makes the text to the clutch player, Pinky. He's like, I got a tip on somebody. Can you find them for me? And she's like, Pinky's like, the usual fee. And he's like, all right, cool. Makes that text. Meanwhile, Braden's like, you should be focusing on this business, getting our business up and running. And he's like, no, I have to take care of this shit. I have to take care of this. And Braden's like, so it's all on me? He's like, yeah, take care of it. And he just leaves him, and Braden's kind of pissed off at that. Meanwhile,
while you go be Rambo.
Yo, he did say that. No, you on your John Wick shit. You on your John Wick shit.
John Wick shit, yeah.
Meanwhile, you got
Yeah.
Monet, who basically finds out where Drew and Diana are hiding out because Drew and Diana are dumbasses. Drew said he wants to go get something to eat and basically leave Diana behind. Meanwhile, Diana's like, you get room service. Bitch, they don't got room service at a motel. They got roaches at a motel, not room service. What are you talking about? And she said, put it on the bill, which Drew's like, what do you mean the bill? He was like, I didn't have anything. I didn't have cash on me, so I put it on the debit card. You mean Monet's debit card? It's like these two are the worst criminals ever.
You put Dumb and Dumber together, and you got Drew and Diana. Like that. Yo, this is immediately when I was like, how the fuck they just literally said they had no cash. How the fuck did they end up in a motel? And then I'm like, it's coming. This bitch used an account, and she said she put it on the account. I was like, you know that shit has names and traceable fucking like you cannot be adding to Drew's stupidity already. Drew's already dumb enough as it is, and, and then you just literally just adding more stupidity to him to attempt to make Drew become smart. Like,
He's the smart one out of the
mess.
two, apparently.
This is a mess. A fucking mess.
And this is after their whole conversation in the car where Diana's like, let's just be real with them. Let's tell them the truth. And Drew was actually made a good point. He was the smart one in this situation. He's like, do you think that she's gonna accept that? Do you think that Kane's gonna accept that? You think Tariq's gonna let us get away with this? And Diana's all like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do.
Just a few moments later.
A few moments later, they done fucked up. Monet pulls up at the motel, and the motel owner is trying to give her some lip, and Monet just pulls out the gat and pistol whips this nigga.
Yo. I ain't gonna ask you again. He said, bitch, I ain't gonna tell you. I was like, this nigga done fucked up. This nigga, I'm surprised he ain't get clapped. But she needed the information of what room they're in so she don't fucking scour through every fucking room in the motel. So
yeah.
See, when Monet decides to be smart, she can be really smart.
Absolutely. So she gets the motel. They're in room 23, the second floor. So Drew and Diana finally come to their senses and like, oh, we got to get the hell out of there. And as soon as they open the door, their mom is right there, Monet. She's got the gun on them. And this is like, I would say, even though I don't like Drew and I want him to get killed this season, he did a great job with his acting in this episode. Lavelle, the actor's real name, he did a great job. And it starts with this scene where like Diana's all apologizing, trying to explain that their plan got fucked up, where I think she was about to tell him that someone else, it wasn't Tariq, is the one that took the shots, which I think is the main thing why Tariq is trying to find Diana and them first, because he doesn't want this to come back on Tasha, who was the real person who shot at Monet. So I think that's the other reason why he was going after them so hard. But Monet doesn't want to hear any of that. She's like, I gave you life. How dare you? And Drew's like, bitch, what the fuck you mean? It was like, we've tried to tell you a million different ways we don't want to be in this life. And oh my God, I think the flashback that we got later in the episode may put Monet as the worst mother in Power history. And this is the same Power history that has such great, horrible mothers as Raquel Thompson and others, but Monet might be the worst. This nigga Drew just wanted to be Picasso, not Pistol Pete.
Yo, that's what literally a few moments later, where Diana's like, tell her the truth, and he's like, she's gonna clap us anyway. And what does he do? He literally ends up spilling his guts and telling her the fucking truth.
He's like, bitch, you ain't nothing. You ain't a good mother. You ain't nothing but a bitch. She's like, I'll show you a bitch. And this bitch got pushed over. She's like punched on the bed. Monet's like, oh shit, what happened?
Yo,
She ain't even get pushed that hard.
Yo, I just love how old and weak they making her still look. So that was good because obviously she's still recovering.
Yeah.
So so she's got her senses and everything, and she's got functionality, but she can't throw down. She can't do any of that shit yet. She's still taking pills, B. She's still taking pills, and I'm telling you, this is the first part of the superpowers that you're gonna hear about during this episode, because bro, she literally in one scene, one clip, she got the room number, and 15 seconds later, she's at the fucking door. She's at the door. Like she didn't. We ain't see her go up no stairs. We ain't, because the motels stairs. Them shits are staircases. She ain't go around no fucking lot, because if you ever been to a telly, what I'm saying, you've been to a telly in your day, that shit is one wide fucking circle box or triangle or whatever you want to call it. But boom, she's right at the door. Bitch ain't even tired.
She ain't even trying to catch her breath.
She ain't even breathing. She's not even. She ain't even. You know what I'm saying? She's just. I'm here. I'm here, bitch. Fuck you going.
I'm already here. I'm already here. So she gets pushed over. Drew and Diana, they run off. They get into the car. Kane, I don't know, like Kane at one moment, he was over near like the Brooklyn Bridge or by the pier or something, telling his boys, get a tip on Drew. If anybody loses him, they getting clapped too. And then he winds up at the motel. I was like, yo, these motherfuckers, this was like 2 minutes ago.
These niggas just teleporting, B. They fucking teleporting, bro. Like, they're literally teleporting. Like, he was just shaking up two dudes for information, and another 15 seconds later, Kane is right there.
He's like, Mom, you all right? And he's like, these motherfuckers are getting away. And he shoots at them. They get away. The next time we see Drew and Diana, they're in a car sleeping. And, Diana's like, I don't want to sleep in this car anymore. We need to get the fuck out of New York. Drew's like, he understands that they're going to need some money. They're going to need some guns. So he's like, I got to hit up the stash spot. So give me a place where you can stay. So he takes Diana over to Salim's here. This nigga Trevor. This guy's a gangster. His real name's Trevor. He's here. He's still here and around. So she goes to his spot. It looked like, I want to say like in like Harlem or something like that. It looked like Harlem to me. What would you say did it look like to you as far as we're in New York?
Harlem, Washington Heights. One of those little nice hood places.
Nice brownstone he was living in because of his rich family. So she goes and pulls up on him. But the MVP again, Pinky is already there before they even show up. Pinky is already there. Like, text Tariq, like, this bitch done pulled up here, so you better hurry up. He's like, wait there until I get there. So there, that sets up where Tariq is heading. Meanwhile, you got Monet is back at the house, and we're about to get another. We've been breaking it down by plots A, B, C, D, because there's always A through E on Power episodes. So plot D is Don Carter. Fuck this nigga still. Detective Don Carter. He's at the precinct, and Kamal Tate comes in, and he's already put together so much already. He said he shook down Roman, and he got his supplier is Zion, so he knows Zion's name, and he's like, I should investigate this. And Don Carter's like, man, I remember the days where soldiers were loyal and weren't snitches. It was like that one line got me like, is Don Carter really working with the drug dealers? That was very interesting. He said that. I was like, is he undercover? Because we've met so many dirty cops in Power. I wouldn't be surprised. So he's like, don't worry about that. Let's actually turn Tariq and Monet against each other. Kamal Tate's like, I respect that, but I would like to, shake down this shade. And then Don Carter gives him a whole story. He was like, "Yeah, let me tell you the story about my friend where my mom used to love him. He used to be at the house all the time, and then one day he just goes up and he goes to the refrigerator and he grabs the soda. He doesn't ask me, doesn't ask my mom. He just grabs the soda, and my mom right then and there kicked him out and told him never come back." Because he got too comfortable in our house. So when you get a task force, you can do and investigate however the fuck you want. But as long as you're on my task force, you're going to do what I say. So you go to Tariq and you try to turn him on Monet, and I'll go to Monet and I'll try to turn her on Tariq. This nigga, Don Carter, for all the hype and shit I heard about him, all this nigga has done all season is lie. That's all he's done.
Yo, this man has to be the most knowledgeful, big weak boss I've seen in the show's history so far. Like, this motherfucker is getting absolutely nowhere. Like, he's getting nowhere. Like, he is just going, like, he's basically starting over. Before, at first, it seemed like he was like, yo, the first 2 episodes is like, yo, this nigga knows like everything already.
Yo,
And
he
then
got so much done in that the first 2 episodes. Like, he arrested Obi, he shook down Tariq, shook down Davis, and then ever since then, he just been lying.
And now you resort to putting the streets against each other, like what, and just so you can attempt to nail one of them, like fucking Monet and Tariq hasn't been doing this game together for at minimum the last 4 years. So you just think that you're just gonna get them to just turn on each other by cop evidence, by cop dialogue? Like, these, neither one of them fucks with cops, and you just think that, oh, just because you want, like, bro, you're taking so many steps back right now. To me, LVP candidate so far.
I agree. I agree, especially for this episode, because he goes to Monet's house. So as Monet's talking to Kane about, finding Drew and Diana, she gets off the phone and Janet's like, "You need to calm down. There's a detective downstairs. You got to get yourself together." So they have a conversation, Don Carter and Monet, where Don Carter basically knows like Monet's whole deal. He's like, "You've been selling drugs for years, but you're not the biggest player. So you've kind of been under the radar. And then you were a part of the whole Rico case, but the real star of that show was Tariq St. Patrick. So I think that you guys have turned on one another." And he asks her, does she have a relationship with Tariq still? And she says no. And he was like, "That's the funny thing. I have an eyewitness who said that they saw someone that fits Tariq's description leaving around your place after you got shot. Does that surprise you?" And she's like, "Do I look surprised?" He's like, "Yeah, you kind of do." So he gives her the card and he goes off. I still think that she might use the card and call him, though, because apparently from her text to Tariq, she did believe him somewhat, because she said that he lied to her.
I mean, he's gonna get used at some point. He's gonna get used at some point. But I don't feel that he's gonna be useful. He's gonna get used, but I don't think he's gonna be useful. Like, I just can't wait to the episode where he gets clapped, because because he's gonna get clapped, and he's probably gonna get clapped multiple times, because he's barking up too many trees. Like, he's barking up the Cancelman tree now with his brother. He's barking up the Tejada's tree. He's barking up the St. Patrick's tree. He hasn't even dug deep. Once he hasn't really. I think he interacted with McLean once, right? He interacted with McLean once. And once he starts barking up that tree, and McLean is back in the streets, yo, this is not gonna end pretty for him. Like, this is not gonna end pretty for him. It's too many trees that this man is gonna end up barking up, and somebody's gonna clap him. Like, somebody's gonna clap him. Like, at least with fucking fucking Sax. Sax knew the appropriate times to bark up certain trees. And he basically stuck to one pond. He stuck to one forest area, and that was all about the St. Patrick's. That's literally all he stuck to. This nigga's everywhere. This nigga's everywhere, bro.
So going back to Drew, he goes to one of the stash spots. That's like it looks like near like a bridge or somewhere where they hide like a gun or whatever. So he goes there. He tries to check for the gun, and it's not there. And Kane is right there behind him. But instead of just shooting your brother, Kane wants to do a whole monologue, asking him why he did it, why he would take out Monet. And Drew's like, why does she deserve to get the pass? She took Poppy away from us. Like, I know we had our differences with Poppy, but she took him out. And he's like, Kane had a whole big monologue. He's like, I've always been the least favorite child, basically. My daughter wants to come in and talk about Kane. Hello.
Chippy.
Say hi, JJ.
Hi, Shay.
Hi.
I got,
Hey.
I got a
Hey,
chippy.
I'm about to say, what you eating on? What you eating on over there? Nice.
You like your chippies?
Thank you, not chippy.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit.
What
But
a
yeah,
way
Kate.
from diverting from Don Carter being a dirty nigga that's about to get clapped to Harlem eating chickpeas.
Gotta love the difference that you get here on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment Channel. But yeah, he's like saying like you basically have always kind of been Poppy's favorite. He came out of jail and he was trying to make you his number two, you the heir apparent, and he's always been trying to prove himself to him. And once he did, when he realized that he could take care of the family, Monet took him from him, but he still didn't try to kill Monet, and they did. And Drew makes a good point. He was like, "Are you mad that we tried to take out Monet, or are you mad that we didn't include you?" he's like, which one are you mad about? This was great, like them going back and forth, but I think Kane just got too emotional about it. He's almost like crying and shit. So Drew knocks the gun out of his hand. He gets the gun, and he can't pull the trigger on his own brother either. He just screams and walks away. I was like, Drew, you
I just wanted Poppy to respect me. I just wanted Poppy to respect. Like,
I was like, both of these niggas got mom and daddy issues.
Yeah, and you know what? Out of all the flack that Drew has been getting this season, this has been a bounce back episode for him. This has been a bounce back episode for him because he has used his words, and they've been very powerful in this episode so far, to both Monet and to Kane.
Yep, it got him to stay alive. They had guns in his face, and he was able to get the fuck up out of there. So I'll give him credit for that.
Drew is a terrible criminal, but he is a great convincer.
Manipulator. I'll say manipulator.
Convincer / manipulator. He uses these emotions as a strength.
He does. Meanwhile, you got Diana's at Salim, and they have a nice moment where Salim was like, he wasn't trying to push her away from his family, but he was like, I just wanted you to be a strong Black woman who doesn't have to live through your family's crimes and misgivings. And she's like, I don't know if I can take away. I did something terrible. And I don't know if I could make up for it, but I'm in trouble and I gotta go. So he tells her that she can go to his parents' house in Greenwich and stay there. They're on a trip to Keiko's. So he's like, take his car and go. So she goes, she's off. I felt like the entire time she was about to say, like, nigga, I'm pregnant. That is your. I don't know if she told the truth at the end. I don't know if it's Salim's or it's Tariq's. What do you think?
I think I 100% think it's Tariq's. I think she's been away from Salim a little too long for it to be his. Like, she's too early in her pregnancy. Like, she's only literally in the first trimester. She's only in like literally those first like 10 weeks. So it has to be Tariq, because I don't think she's fucked with Salim that for even a longer period of time in that way.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. But speaking of Tariq, He finally pulls up on Salim's crib. He knocks on the door, and then Salim just lets him in. He's like, "Where is she?" And she's like, "Oh, she's not here." He was like, "My people said that they saw her here." He's like, "Your people's is wrong." So I was like, finally, Tariq showing some power over somebody. He just muscles up to Salim against the wall. He's like, "Where the fuck is she?" And he's like, "Yo, I don't know what you're talking about." He pulls out the gun and he's like, "Yo, don't get shot. Don't get clapped for being Captain Save-A-Ho." He was like, "Where the fuck is she?" "Oh, she's at my house in Greenwich." And then Tariq, he couldn't just take the information and go. He got to be his father's son. He had to be like how Ghost used to treat Dre, where he's got to say some slick shit. He was like, "You see how quick you bitch up? When you bitch up, you bitch made and gave that information up."
It wasn't so hard. Wasn't so hard for you to bitch up. Like,
so
this
Salim
antagonistic motherfucker.
Salim tries to fight back, and this winds up with Tariq shooting him right in like the stomach, but he didn't finish him. Why didn't you just shoot him in the head? You already shot him. He might bleed out, but you don't know for sure. You should have made sure this nigga was dead. This is too many bodies already. You killed a cop in the first episode. Now you're killing a regular civilian who got nothing to do with the game. And he shoots him. He doesn't even finish the job, so he leaves him to bleed out. He leaves the crib to go after Diana. I think this is gonna come back to him in some way. What do you think?
So this Salim guy, yeah, I was tight with him from the moment he let Diana into the crib. I was mad about that shit from the start because I was like, "Yo, bro, she ain't giving you no play. She pregnant. It ain't yours. She ain't fucking with you. Like you couldn't even get no top after giving her the crib, the car. You couldn't even get no top. And then 15 minutes later, Tariq gets all the information from you, and you didn't even have to die. You know what? This nigga got a gun. Say whatever the fuck you want, bro. So this is like, yo, just say whatever you want. Just go. Just go. You got the info. Go. But nah, you gotta go fight the nigga. And you get clapped. LVP candidate right there.
Another one. Yes, I agree. Before Tariq made this move on Salim, he was at the school, like we said before, with Brayden. So he comes out of the candy shop and Kamal Tate is there. So he tries to get some information from Tariq, basically saying that an eyewitness saw you at the location where Monet was shot. And he's like, "Yo, are you trying to put a big ass target on my back? Have you told the same information to Monet?" He's like, "Maybe I have. If you want to, have a statement, I could take you to the precinct." I'm like, "No, nigga, he ain't gonna do that. He's a St. Patrick. He ain't gonna do that dumb shit."
You want me to go on witness protection, bitch? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck you.
So Monet is like,
fucking man, fuck you.
Monet's calling him, texts him, saying you lied to me. Meanwhile, Monet's at the house, and Janet basically is the type of cousin that you always have that tell you about yourself. And she told Monet about yourself. Like, you are the reason why your kids are doing all of this. She was like, "I taught them the game, and now they're trying. I don't understand why they're doing this to me." She was like, "You're so distracted that you don't even realize that your own daughter is pregnant." And she's like, "What?" It was like, I was like, at least somebody knew. At least somebody realized that Diana was pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, she showed all the signs to them. So,
yeah. Monet
someone's
only
paying
noticed the
attention.
fidget. Monet only remembered her as a kid for her fidgeting. She didn't see any of her maturity signs. She didn't see any of her behavioral changes, her emotional differences. Nah, only she notices the hand twitching when she was asked the question. Because you know why? Because that was the game. She only knew about the game.
Too wrapped up in the goddamn game. So meanwhile, then we get the aforementioned flashback scene where Monet is finally, she's actually Monet. It's not younger Monet, it's older Monet after she's had kids, and she's with a young Drew. I would say I gotta give it up to casting once again. I think they did a great job with the young Monet, but they also did a great job with the young Drew. Young Drew was like, yeah, that's definitely that. I can see that being a younger Drew before he grows up, gets the facial hair and stuff. They did a great job with that. And he was acting like a bitch even back then. He was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go do some art. You said I could go to the art show. The teacher said they're going to put my thing up on the display, and you agreed to it 2 weeks ago.
And I want to go see some boys.
So Monet's like, no, I gotta teach you the game. You know, packaging is one thing, but what it's really about is transactions. So she goes to some dude's crib, and he's already talking shit from the jump. He opens the door. He's like, "Oh, you're Lorenzo's bitch." She's like, I ain't nobody's bitch. What the fuck you mean? Give me this money. And they go into the house, and he's like, do you want a drink to calm your ass down? And she's like, yo, just give me the fucking money so we can go. He was like, no, I ain't gonna take no orders from you, bitch. So they get into an argument. She pulls out a gun on him. He slaps it out of her hand. He's choking up Monet to the point that Drew has to pick up the gun. He's like, get off my mom. And he shoots him right in the fucking head. I was like, damn, Drew was a good shot from the beginning.
And they got aim. They got aim from the beginning. Where the fuck was his aim for the rest of the season?
I was like, any other time we see the only time we seen he had good aim was when he was with Lorenzo when they shot the I think it was season 2. Towards the end of season 2 when they shot the gang member that was like didn't want to work with them. They shot him and took him out so the number 2 could take over. That's when we saw he was a good shot. But he was a good shot from the jump. And he's crying because he just killed someone. And Monet's like, boy, get it together. Slapped him across. It's like, yo, you're the worst mother.
The fuck you crying for? like.
Okay, you can't play that here. This is YouTube.
Look at the teddy.
Okay, but you gotta go because you're gonna get me copyright strike. Okay, all right. But once she slapped young Drew, I was like, yeah, she's officially the worst mother in Power history.
She just witnessed her son kill somebody. Shot a man in the head. And she's like, the fuck you crying for? The fuck you crying for, you little bitch? This game is about life or death, nigga. Like, bro, that's your child. That's your child. And you you took this nigga to a drug deal. 2, you obviously are gonna be strapped. And then 3, he pulls the trigger for the first time in his life. And you like, the fuck you crying for? It's like, this
get in the car.
This bitch is Satan, bro.
Yo, I was like, each of these flashback scenes have just gotten worse and worse. She put a gun on a baby. Then she taught young Drew and Diana how to make coke, how to make the right gram about for coke, and taught them how to lie about it. And then she had Drew kill somebody, and then told him stop being a bitch.
Yo, let's go, little nigga.
Yo, facts, Malabi. Monet is somehow worse than Rock. She is somehow worse than Rock. I didn't think that was possible.
Yo, she didn't get us. Yo, she didn't console us, nigga. She gave him no explanation. This is what the game is about, life or death. Like, yeah, this nigga just wanted to go to an art gallery, bro. Like,
this nigga just
now he got a body. Now he got a body. Fuck you crying for? LVP candidate is Monet.
Yo, this was awesome. I'm sorry. I loved it. I loved every minute of this. But going back to one of her other kids. So once Kane had that first conversation with Drew, he gets called up by Noma. And Noma goes, I need you at the house because Noma earlier in the day had a meeting with Davis McLean. And since Davis helped her with Obi, she wanted help with one of her businesses. It's a jet parts company out of Italy, and she can't go to Italy, so she's trying to get government contracts here. And she's like, "Oh, I heard you're friends with Rashad Tate," and he's like, I wouldn't say friends. I would say mutual back scratching. I was like, yo, Davis is the man. Davis is the best lawyer. He's the best lawyer.
Anytime Davis McLean hits your screen, just know there has been value added to the show.
Facts. And I would say I feel like Davis has better chemistry with Noma than Kane. Like there's sexual
100%.
tension whenever they interact with each other.
Absolutely, because Davis want to clap, bro. Davis want to clap them cheeks, bro. Like he ain't looking at her like no fucking. He wanna fucking do anything to that bitch. He wanna have relations with her.
He want to line up those sideburns. He want to line them shit up. He trying to line them shit up as he clapped them cheeks.
He want to hear all that British moaning.
So she gets Kane to basically get dressed up in nice little suit. As Monet's calling him, he has to ignore her because he has to go to this gala with Noma, where he's gonna talk to basically the guy that's political aid, and she's gonna talk to the politician who can get her, the government contracts that she needs. So Kane goes and basically bonds with the guy Kevin off of Hennessy, and then tells him that he's from Clark, Atlanta, which is the college that Kevin graduated from. So that impresses him enough where he wants to tell him all about his little, foundation he's trying to start for at-risk youth. Meanwhile, Noma is sweet talking the politician, telling him that, she wants to throw some money at that and make a bid for the government contracts. She also wants to make a bid for her visa and everything. She's doing a good job smoothing him. Kane's doing a good job smooching Kevin, but then he gets the call because he said that he needed Donnie to keep eyes on Drew, and they said we're tailing Drew right now. So Kane has to dip on out middle conversation saying, "Tell those little niggas I said good luck." He dips on out. He hands somebody his glass, and he's like, "Boom! I'm breaking out of this. I'm going on the run."
The flip was real, bro. Like, from being so interested to, all right, tell them little niggas good luck. Like, is this nigga serious right now? Like, dead ass? Yo, as soon as he got that text, bro, everything changed. Body language, interest. Like, fuck that. Nah. I'm going where my loyalties lie. Like, Noma, it look like you already got that nigga in the bag. I'm out.
Exactly. He's like, you took care of that. I'm gonna take care of my business. More on that in a bit. Then we have the E plot. The E plot was Braden, who basically takes the initiative and he's coming up with a plan to move the drugs now. And he's making the unfortunate decision to pillow talk, which first it was him taking the coke last week. Now it's him doing the coke and pillow talking with his girl, just like Tommy did with Holly, where he's saying Tariq's name to somebody else. And he's like, we're going to do the party because he's great at throwing parties. We saw that in season 1 when he threw the birthday party for Tariq. And he says, your boy, everybody wants to party with your boy. So he's going to set up these underground parties where the group can do performances, and it's going to become a hot commodity, and he's going to have all the influencers on campus promote it, and then he's going to sell the drugs through that. And he comes up with a great system, but he's saying too much to this bitch, and this bitch is getting too much information from him when he don't even know this bitch. And then she also on top of that, it's like, oh, can I get a little drugs off the top? And he's like, Tariq wouldn't like that. Well, he doesn't need to know. And then she does some coke on his stomach and starts giving him some head, and Braden is convinced. I was like, Braden, I've never seen somebody get like up points and down points at the same time.
You said that shit so perfectly, because I'm like, Braden is right now, he's winning. He's winning. MVP candidate winning. And then you be a young dumb white boy. But Braden's a real one though. Just know Braden's a real one no matter what. He's gonna make dumb mistakes. Listen, Tommy made dumb mistakes too, and Tommy the realest nigga in the game. Tommy a straight
That's
nigga. Tommy ain't no white boy. Tommy the realest nigga in the game.
Facts.
Tommy's made mistakes. A lot of them. So put that into account when these decisions are made throughout this show. Tommy fucked up a lot.
This is true.
But Tommy is
This is
still
true.
the realest fucking nigga in the game.
The boogeyman of power right there. But that leads to the whole final scenes here, everything we set up with all these different stories. So Monet now wants to, make good on her family, knowing that Diana is pregnant. Meanwhile, you got Kane. He pulls up on Drew, who goes to the stash spot in this like bodega in the Bronx, and he's collecting all the money to get out of town when Kane pulls up on him. Kane's like, oh, you thought ain't nothing sacred to you, motherfuckers. You over here at the stash spot. I thought I didn't even know you still had a key. And he's doing a whole monologue in time for Monet to call him, and she tells Kane to stand down. He's like, Mom, I could do this. She's like, no, stand down, boy. You didn't hear what I said?
Boy.
Give Drew the phone.
Boy.
So he gives
Still
Drew
get
the
no
phone.
respect.
Yo,
No
for
respect
real,
to this
she's
nigga.
still disrespecting this nigga. Oh, he gives Drew the phone, and she's like, I'm trying to save Diana's life. If I have to make it to her before Tariq does, because Tariq is going to kill her. So he finds out that that Diana is in Greenwich, so she's on the hurry, and we see once again the Tejadas has superpowers. We had in the chat, somebody said the Tejadas has superpowers except for Monet. How the fuck did Monet get there just minutes after Tariq? How the fuck did she do that?
Yo,
Tariq shooting Salim and
are?
going to Greenwich is like, that was like an hour ago. Like, what?
Remember, Tariq found this information out like 30 minutes ago. Like 30 minutes ago, he found this information out. Where are they usually at? Queens?
Yeah.
Queens? She found
Yes.
this out at the 55th, like the 54th minute of the show. Monet Tejada is in Connecticut 3 minutes later. Tell me what in the Homelander fuck is that? What in the fucking Homelander boys soup shit is that? This bitch went from Queens to Connecticut through New York traffic in 3 minutes.
And it was only just a few minutes before that Drew was on the phone with Diana, just finding out that she was in Greenwich and getting the address. And he's like, nah, I have to hit this stash spot. And she's telling him, like, nigga, you said we were just going to be gone away from each other for a few hours. You've been gone all day. He's like, I got to go to this one spot. So that's where Kane meets up with him. So once they hang up with Monet, then Kane want to be a slick. I mean, Drew want to be a slick nigga. He's like, oh, so you're like a robot when it comes to her. And he was like, you ain't nothing but a mama's boy. And Kane was like, oh, nah, I'm going to fuck your ass up. I might not be able to kill you, but you're dead to me. And he just starts wailing on this nigga. He says, the penthouse, you're done. Get your shit and get the fuck out. And as far as Noma, you're out the game. I may not be able to kill you, but you're dead to me. And he walks out the bodega with Drew all fucked up on the ground there. I was like, all right, Kane. That one last person calling you a mama's boy, that seemed to be your trigger.
You know, the mama's boy and boy in a 5-minute span, that was a straw that broke his back, man. Like, give him a phone, boy. He's like, yo, I'm a grown-ass man. This bitch is still calling me boy. Like, boy. Come here, boy.
Come here, boy. So we see later on in the show, Drew getting his shit. He don't know how to fold for shit. This nigga was just like rolling his shit. I was like, yo, you don't know how to fold. Your mama ain't teach you nothing.
He ain't want to
This nigga
learn.
don't even.
Remember, he ain't want to learn. That's why she ain't never liked that nigga. He ain't want to learn. This is all.
You don't know.
They was only pushing him because Poppy wanted him there.
True. That is true. So he moves out the penthouse. So that's done with Drew for this episode. Meanwhile, Kane, he goes to Noma and he's like, on what you said earlier, he was like, I ain't a mama's boy. And he was like, I ain't your boy either. I'm my own man. And he started clapping those Noma cheeks again. He clapping that British Catwoman cheeks.
That's right. Find out. Let Davis find out. He gonna be jealous as a motherfucker.
Facts. He gonna be like Kane was with Effie.
And that ain't even his bitch. And Davis gonna be jealous. Because Davis want them British cheeks.
Facts. Speaking of which, I missed earlier in the episode, Tariq did go see Effie to find out where Diana was. And Effie, she broke it down to him. He was like, how did you not see this coming? What, you thought you and the Tejadas was just like friends? He was like, if anybody should know about the game that we're in and not to trust anybody, it should be you. She's like, you're talking to someone who's betrayed you like 3 fucking times.
Yeah, my only call out to this show, and that was a call out that I was in at. My only call out to the show is that this was a very minimalistic Effie episode, which I always hate.
So you're an Effie fan?
Oh, I love Effie. I just love seeing her on my screen.
I don't care.
She's a selfish ass tyrant, but I just love seeing her on my screen. She's a selfish tyrant. That's what she is. She's literally a selfish tyrant. But she's always good to look at on the screen.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I wanted to get the fuck up out of here. I need her to get shot this season, but I understand she's pretty to look at. But that's all for Kane. That's all for Drew. That's all for Effie. So then the big scene is Tariq. He pulls up on the crib. He breaks in. This nigga once again wants to talk shit. He was like, "You looking kind of comfortable?" To Diana, he's like, "You looking kind of comfortable for someone who got a big ass target on their back." And Diana thinks she could move on fast. She tries to go the other way. Tariq meets up with her, pulls the gun on her. She's like, "Please don't do this." He was like, "Why the fuck shouldn't I kill you right now?" And that's when Monet, superpowered Monet, pulls up. She was like,
Homelander speed.
Because she's pregnant. And he was like, Tariq's like, why the fuck should I care about her being pregnant? And that's when Diana drops the bomb on him saying, "It's yours." And he's like, yo, he gave the only look. Bitch, like what? Like what?
Couldn't even deny it. Because he know Diana's some goody two shoes bitch.
Yeah. He's like, I'm probably the only nigga that ever raw dog that. So.
Yeah, that's probably me. Fuck, I'm in another mess. I'm in another fucking mess on top of all of the messes that I'm in already.
It's a lot right now. So he basically gets a deal from Monet, as Monet says, I know it was you that took those shots at me, so I'm willing to give you a pass if you give my kids a pass. I won't try to kill you. Kane won't try to kill you. And he was like, she would do anything to keep her family and her grandbaby safe. And Tariq's like, all right, fuck it. Puts his gun down and he gets the fuck up out of there. And Monet and Diana have an emotional hug where they're apologizing to one another. A nice little mother-daughter reunion, it seems. So everything is in the clear there. And then we follow with Tariq as he goes to the underground club that Braden has set up. And I love the fact that the group is called No Lie because, of course, Tariq's father, Ghost, had a club called Truth. See the correlation there?
Yes.
So he basically, Braden breaks down how the business work, where they are basically doing orders through an app, and they can pick up the orders at the club, and they're putting the coke into the tags of the shirts, and they're putting pills at the bottom of like the mugs and stuff. I was like, yo, Braden is so clutch. Like not even Tommy. Tommy got really smart as power came along. But Braden from the beginning, course correct, no frap, no cap, and now this. Yo, he's always got the plan.
Real one. Braden's a real one. did that by himself while Tariq out there being John Wick. Braden is a fucking G. Braden's a fucking G, yo.
I think that was for Effie in the chat.
Oh,
yes,
well, that's
yes,
an
indeed.
Effie. Oh, 100%. That's all for Effie.
But yeah, Raiden comes up, explains that whole thing, and he's smoking a blunt, and he's like, asks him what happened with the Tejadas, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna need a drink to explain that." And he's like, Raiden's like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need that too." The blunt. He was like, takes the blunt, he takes the pull. I was like, "Oh, Tariq is back on his sipping scissor path again. He's out here. He about to drink. He got to smoke a blunt. All right."
Scissor. He went back to the scissor. Oh shit! That was like little 13-year-old Tariq drinking the scissor. Through the 7-Eleven cups.
He's stretched. He about to have Ghost 3.0. So he's like, I'm stressed right now. So I need a drink. I need the blunt.
A lot of shit.
So they go to the bar to get a drink, and as Tariq is smoking the blunt, who does he see at the bar but Anya Covington, the daughter of Nova? I was like, yo, and this nigga
the most ghost shit you're ever gonna see in Power. The most ghost shit you're ever gonna see. Like, this nigga is his father. This nigga is his father.
Yo, for real, because this nigga pulls up on Anya, and this nigga with he said about 2 sentences, and he already backed her up. He already bagged her up with 2 sentences. He's like, I'll get this drink for her. Whatever she drinking is on me. And she was like, well, I got my own money to buy drinks. And he was like, I could see that, but why do you need to? And she's like, oh, my name's Anya. Well, my name's Tariq. I was like, he already bagged him. I was like, that's it.
I already know who you are, bitch. I already know who you are. You don't even know the hell you're about to experience. You're about to fall in love with the devil.
The devil himself. Oh man, that was a great ending, a great cliffhanger to leave us off on this episode here. But
the finale is gonna be fucking wild, bro. The series break, because next week
mid-season finale. I'm looking forward to it. Lot that they showed in the promos, but we'll talk about that for sure next week. But man, this was a really fun episode with the overarching of Diana and Drew on the run and everybody coming after them. A lot of good stuff. But let us know in the chat, who was your MVP for this episode? Who is your LVP? Out of 10, what did you give this episode? Let us know in the live chat if you're with us live. Let us know in the comments down below if you're watching us on demand. For me and Top Guy JJ, though, we will put our thumbs in the middle for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, Episode 4, The Reckoning. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, what did you give this episode, JJ?
I would give this episode, because this had a lot of meat. This episode had a lot of meat on the bone. I would give this episode here a solid 8. I would give it a solid 8 because it was obviously there's just so much more to unpack, but you got a shit ton of info out of this episode. Like, if you're watching this series, you couldn't miss this episode and just continue on. This was a can't miss episode if you are watching this show.
Yeah, I felt like last week was a build-up to the big impactful ending with Monet finding out the truth. This one was just so much things going on. Like I said, we had plots A through E, and all of them was important to touch on here and discuss and further go into. So yeah, I'm actually going to go higher than you out slightly. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought this was a really good episode.
I was in that range too, but after seeing episode 1, after seeing how the shit started and having that high ass bar, because that was a 9.5 or
Yeah.
10 episode.
Yeah,
right
I gave
there.
that a 9. I gave that a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So like episode 1, hands down the best episode of the season so far. And this one to me is, I think I would say the second best episode of the season so far. So
I agree.
If I go 9.5 or 10 on the first episode, this one's a little bit lower, but not out of a disrespect. This is just really good. I give this was a solid 8 for me. I loved it. I loved the episode. That means great. That means I would watch this again.
Absolutely. I would go as far as MVP for this episode. I gave Pinky MVP last week, and she was still clutch this week. But even though he had the pillow talk segment, I'm sorry. The whole layout for No Lie and the Underground Club, it's got to be Braden for me this week.
Oh, to me, without question. That's why, if y'all have been hearing the dialogue throughout this episode, the only person I even mentioned an MVP candidate has been Braden. Braden easily is the MVP of this show. Braden held it down without Tariq. Like, without him, the entire episode. He held the entire thing down and literally filled in Tariq, his whole fucking structure, in under 2 minutes. Something that he planned out very nicely and is very safe. And he literally did course correct 2.0, but more advanced. Yeah. Braden's definitely the MVP.
And Tariq done fucked it up at the end there by talking. They trying to be under the radar, and this nigga sees that Anya Covington is there and just has to pull up on him. So that's Tariq for you. And despite I see some people in the chat, for child labor laws that she violated, Monet is a candidate for LVP. But I'm sorry, it's got to be Celine for me. So Celine, you died and you gave away the address for Diana. Yeah, you're LVP.
Yeah, I was about to say that wasn't even I try to throw in like little nuggets of other people, but this is a slam dunk. Salim is the LVP. Like LVP 1000%. First, you let the bitch in. Like first of all, you let the bitch in. Like that was the first LVP move that you made. Second, you ain't getting nothing out of it. You ain't getting nothing out of it. You ain't know first of all, he doesn't know that she's pregnant. He doesn't know. So he ain't even getting nothing out of that. And then thirdly, he gives up the info and then gets bodied for it. So he didn't even get to live to tell the tale. Immediate LVP.
There was a lot of LVP candidates in this episode.
There really was though. There really was though. We had a few.
LaVace,
hotel worker, definitely.
Hotel worker.
The motel worker was definitely a candidate. Oh my God, we had Monet it was basically Monet to me would have been like 1B. If we would have had another candidate, it would have been Monet. Monet would have been that next one because being the worst mother in power history, that speaks volumes, and she should be in co-LVP honorable mentions here. She should be co-LVP, but Monet's still alive, and Monet just saves her family.
Yes.
So if she didn't save her family, if one of her kids would have died during this episode, she would have been the LVP. But none of her kids died. So she saved her family, and they're all now kind of in that safe zone now because she ended the war with Tariq, Kane, and Drew. She ended the war with all of them, and she saved her daughter. So even though she's the worst mother in power history, she started to walk in the right direction at the very end of the episode.
They survived an episode. So
that's what saved Monet from being LVP, because she saved the family to make it to episode 5.
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Salim ain't making it to episode 5, bro, and he ratted the bitch out.
The double whammy, yo! Oh my gosh, Salim, you're the LVP for sure. I think Kane deserves an honorable mention for MVP. If he would have shot Drew. I think that he could have surpassed Braden because of the pillow talk, but him not getting the job done with Drew and still being a mama's boy, because he did get a lot done with distracting the political aid.
The town hall thing. Yeah, that was definitely points for him. His emotion in the episode was really good too. So I would give that. His emotion in the episode was really good too. You finally got to see just an uncold side of him. Like you finally got to see like some reasoning behind his cold actions, and you got something out of him. So I didn't even think about Kane as an LVP because he had really bright spots in this episode.
Yeah. Like I said before, I think him and Drew did a great job as far as just the acting in this episode. The acting in this episode was great. Whatever they were going back and forth with one
and
another.
The fact that Drew hasn't even been. This is how you know Drew had a good episode. He wasn't even in the mentions of LVP today.
Yep. He's progressing. We're seeing progression. But that brings us to a close on another Power Book 2 Go Season 4 review. I want to thank Top Guy JJ for joining me today. Had so much fun talking about this episode with you. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you again, sir.
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_Top Guy JJ. Facebook, I'm barely active on that shit at all, except for getting notifications of chats. But the next time you'll see me, I think I let everybody know yesterday on the True Hill Heat channel that you'll be able to see me in a couple of weeks for True Hill Heat on the True Hill Heat channel, the flagship podcast. And football season is starting to roll around the corner soon, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff for that, a lot of predictions, a lot of preseason, and stuff. I don't know if we're going to do anything training camp related, but preseason is definitely on the horizon. So once we get into that, then I'll be up on here a lot more.
Boom. Check it out. And you can follow me at True Hill SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. But we'll be live in about just over 30 minutes over on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel for our AEW X New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door review. It will be myself, Sanal, the True Draw Josh, as well as Professor Chris of the NWA podcast. So join us over there live for that in just a bit. But until then, for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4, Episode 4, The Reckoning review. We are signing off until next time.